Country Cookin. I'm your host, Cindy Schumacher. On today's show, we'll be making shrimp Alfredo, an Italian salad, soft breadsticks, and strawberry rhubarb coffee cake. So let's get started. We're going to start out with the cake because that takes the longest, and we have a quart and a half of rhubarb that is cut into pieces, about 1 inch or thereabouts. And a quart of strawberries that I have cleaned and hulled and chopped about like this. And we have a cup of sugar. And we have our cornstarch. Can't remember, 1/3 cup of cornstarch. And then we've got lemon juice. We need a 1/4 cup, and if you have fresh lemons, you can squeeze them. I happen to have something that I can press lemon juice out of, or you can squeeze it. Otherwise, you can use real lemon. That's perfectly fine. See what we have here. I always use a fine strainer so I don't get the seeds. Not quite. I'm going to use another half. A little bit of pulp in there, so I'm going to work that out. There we go. Pour that in and we'll mix it all together. And we're going to get this cooking on the stove. I'm going to put it on a medium heat. Stir it all in together. And we're going to cook this down and make a little bit of a fruit sauce. This is the time of the year where your rhubarb's just coming in, and it's fun to have something new and different, and I think you'll like this coffee cake recipe. Okay, we're going to make the crumb topping next, and three-fourths cup of flour and 3/4 cup of sugar, and then we have a 1/4 cup of butter. We're going to mix in, and the best way to do that is to just do it with your fingers. Make your crumb topping. Okay, and then we're going to just set that aside, and we'll start making our cake batter. We have 3 cups of flour and 1 cup of sugar. A pinch of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of baking powder. And combine this with a whisk. Okay, now we're going to take a cup of butter and we're going to cut that in just like if you're doing a pie crust. I use a pastry blender. Now remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website, and if you don't have internet, give the girls a call and they'd be happy to get you a copy of the recipe. We'll take a quick break while I work this butter into the batter. We'll be right back.
Sign up for HD or DVR from Valley this month and receive 2 months free and free installation. Call us today at 437-2615. You don't want to miss out on this offer.
Okay, the fruit sauce is coming along nicely. It's starting to break down a little bit, so we'll go ahead and finish the cake batter. I've got the butter incorporated so it looks like crumbs. So we want to combine 2 eggs, 1.5 cups of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can make your own using a tablespoon of white vinegar or a tablespoon of lemon juice, and to equal whatever you need. So you would do it a scant tablespoon or whatever. So I need a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to combine this. Okay. Then we're going to combine it with the dry ingredients. Okay, you don't have to mix it very long. You just kind of get it so it's incorporated. It's a coffee cake. It's going to be heavier than a normal cake. We're going to put half of it into a prepared pan. I sprayed it with Pam. This isn't always the easiest thing to do, but just do the best you can. A little bit more here. Looks like this, so you have a layer of the batter in the bottom. Then we're going to take our fruit sauce. Get some of this out of the way. See what we're doing. Smells so nice, that fruit. Here again, we're going to take half of the fruit sauce and we're going to spread it across. You got to make sure when you're making your fruit sauce that it doesn't burn. It has a tendency to scald on the bottom of the pan, but this is how it looks. Just a little bit more here. And then we're going to spread the rest of the batter on here, and here it gets a little difficult, so you have to kind of spread it on in dollops so that you can get it to cover the whole thing. And spread it out easier. This is a nice time of the year to make this too, when the rhubarb is fresh in your gardens and the strawberries are so reasonable in the store. Just about got it. Okay, now I'm going to take a spoon and try to cover that a little better. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it makes a nicer layer if you can cover it as well as you can. And because the bread will, the cake batter, kind of a bread batter, but it will expand, so it'll cover better than you think it is. So it looks like this. Now we're going to put on the rest of the fruit. Here again, you've got to spread it all the way across as good as you can. Seems like a lot of work, but this cake is worth it. You will love it. Okay, now we're going to put the crumb topping on that we've prepared. And just do this with your hands, it's going to work the best. Just spread it out, kind of like the topping on a Cookin. I've preheated my oven to 350. So it looks like that, and it's going in the oven. We're going to take a quick break while I clean things up. Remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website, and if you don't have internet, give the girls a call and they'll be happy to get you a copy. We'll be right back.
Protect your investment with smart farm monitoring from Valley Telecommunications. Get video surveillance cameras for your home, shop, or barn. Sign up now and receive 5% off of Clear to Their cameras and 1 month free of off-site storage.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, we're going to get going on the soft breadsticks. I have 3 cups of flour. We're going to mix in 3 tablespoons of packed brown sugar, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon and a half of yeast, kind of mix that up. Okay, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of oil. Grab a spatula here. And a cup of warm water. If you have a bread machine, go ahead and use that. I just thought I would do it this way. Nice thing about these is they're pretty easy to make. They only take about 20 minutes to rise. Okay, we're going to roll that out. Grab a little flour here. You can roll it out if you don't like your breadsticks quite so long. The recipe says about 12 inches for your length. If you like them a little shorter, do that too. These breadsticks, the nice thing is they really do stay soft, even the next day, or sometimes you make breadsticks and they get so hard, but these are nice. Okay. We're going to cut them into strips about 3/4 inch, like this. Okay, now when you put them on if you want them to have just a little bit of a twist, I kind of like that. They look prettier. I'm going to grab my cookie sheet here. I'm using a Demaro so I don't have to worry about it sticking or anything. And I just kind of give them a couple of turns like this. We'll take a quick break while I finish this up. We'll be right back. Okay, we've got the breadsticks rising, so we're going to work on the salad, which will go rather quickly because I prepared things in advance. I have taken a jar of marinated artichoke hearts and drained them and chopped them, so we'll sprinkle those around. And this is a red onion. If you don't like quite so much, you don't have to use the whole red onion. I've used a little more than half because I had a really big one. So we're gonna spread that around. I've got some hard salami, anywhere from a fourth to a half cup. You don't need a lot. It's just enough to give it just a little bit of that antipasto flavor. And then I like to add black olives to my Italian salad because I think the black gives it a little bit of drama. And you know me, I'm all about color. So I think that always adds to the salad. I'm going to sprinkle it with a fourth cup of grated Parmesan cheese. If you buy Parmesan cheese and grate it yourself, that's great too. I just happen to have the Parmesan that comes in the bottle. Okay. So the salad looks like that. It's a mixture of romaine and iceberg lettuce. I like to incorporate a little bit of iceberg lettuce into my Italian salad because it's firmer and it gives a little more crunch. So between the two of them, then you'll get a nice combination. Okay, we have for our dressing is a red wine vinegar. It's a fourth cup, and we have salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to use about a teaspoon of salt and about a half teaspoon of pepper. And then I have 3/4 cup of olive oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, which is better for you, but if olive oil is a little too strong for you, and for some people it is, you can use the light tasting olive oils, and that you'll still get some of the benefit of the healthy fats in an olive oil, but you won't have quite this strong flavor. I have my little Pampered Chef salad blender. So that's all ready to go. Okay, we're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it chill for a few minutes, and then we'll start getting our breadsticks ready to go in the oven. Quick here. That's what the breadsticks look like. And we're going to melt a little bit of butter. I have about a tablespoon or two. Now, the recipe calls for garlic powder and Parmesan cheese. I buy a garlic and cheese topper. You can find these in the grocery store, combination. And this actually has a lot of that, and it has a little bit of ground parsley and basil, and it so it makes a real nice topping, and it's rather fine, so it doesn't fall off so easily. So we'll base this with butter. Then I'm just going to do some sprinkling. And as you can see, this has Parmesan cheese in it and some nice spices. So, but garlic powder and Parmesan cheese will give you nice flavor too. Okay, I'm going to let these rise just a few more minutes, and then we'll get started on the shrimp. Be right back. All right, we'll start working on the shrimp fettuccine. We have 4 egg yolks, 1 cup of half and half, and a cup of Parmesan cheese. And we'll whisk this together. I've got my water started, so we'll get the fettuccine boiling here in a minute. Now this shrimp fettuccine goes rather fast, so and you want to serve it immediately when it's ready. So you don't want to do it too far in advance. You want to make sure all of your other things are ready to roll. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside. I have a half cup of butter melting in my saucepan. And to that we're going to add a teaspoon of garlic, and we're going to press that. And as always, if you don't have fresh garlic and you want to use the garlic that comes in the jar, that's fine. That works well. And then I have a tablespoon of green onion that I have minced. We're going to let those cook together for a few minutes. And we'll take a break while we clean up. We'll be right back.
Valley Telecommunications is pleased to announce that our Technology Solutions Center is fully stocked and open for business. We have a large selection to meet your wants and needs. Some of the items we currently carry are a variety of corded and cordless phones, different brands of tablets such as Kindle Fires and Apple iPads and all the accessories for them, Telekin computers, Epson and HP printers and ink cartridges, Apple iPods and accessories, office supplies, wireless keyboards and mice, cellular phones and accessories, different types of media storage, cameras, headphones, power strips and surge protectors, and much, much more. You can also get your very own Valley swag. Our prices are reasonable and comparable to any other retail store. If there is something that you want or need that we do not currently carry, please let us know so that we can check into it for you. We accept all major credit cards, cash or check. Please feel free to stop by our office and check out our new and improved store for all of your technology and day-to-day business needs.
Okay, breadsticks are done. They've been in for about 20 minutes. That's how they look. We'll put them in a bread basket. Okay, we'll set those aside, and now we're going to get going on the pasta. I've got 9 ounces of fettuccine. If by chance you would rather use linguine that's a little bit thinner, or like my son prefers petty pasta, as long as you have a nice firm pasta, that will work just as well. And you want to cook it al dente, so it would just just slightly springy to the bite. So that's how you would test it. Just take a little bite of one and see if that has that kind of firm, tender texture to it. Okay, so we have our half cup of butter with our green onion and our garlic. And we'll keep this going here. As soon as the butter's melted, we're going to add our shrimp and start sauteing that. I've thawed the shrimp. It's already pre-cooked. So when I bought it, I've thawed it and I've removed the tails. That way it's just easier. Some restaurants like to serve it with the tail on, but I just think it's easier if the tail has been removed, then people aren't, pulling them off and sticking them on the side of their plate. It just looks nicer. So we'll throw the shrimp in. Also, I like the whole shrimp. I've got about a medium size. I like the look of the whole shrimp. If you want to cut them in two, or if you want to slice them in half lengthwise, then you still have the shape of the shrimp, and then it goes a little further. But most often I just keep it like this. Now to this we're going to add our mixture that we've made with the half and half and the butter and the egg yolks. And then we're going to add our salt and pepper, basically to taste. They say about a teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of pepper. Sometimes in Italian food I like a little more zest, so I might sneak a little more pepper in there. And then I've got some fresh parsley from my herb garden that we'll toss in at the end. So we'll take a little break here while we wait for this to saute through. Remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website, and if you don't have internet, give the girls a call and they'll be happy to get you the recipe. We're going to finish up the shrimp Alfredo. The shrimp has been cooking, so we're going to stir in our mixture. And we're going to want this to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes so that the egg yolks cook up a bit. I'm going to add the salt and pepper. This pretty much can be to taste. The recipe calls for about a half teaspoon of salt. People sometimes will add their own seasoning when they have an Alfredo, if they like it a little saltier or pepperier. And a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Here again, I like things just a little bit pepperier, so I'm going to do pretty close to a half a teaspoon here. We're going to let that cook for a few minutes. Our cake's just about ready to come out of the oven, so everything will be done right about the same time. We'll be right back.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, the pasta is ready, so we're going to drain that. I have a pasta bowl, so we're going to put it in that. Sprinkle my parsley. Give it just a little dash of paprika. That always gives it a little more color. Okay, we'll take the cake out. We'll toss the salad and we're about ready to eat. Because Italian salad dressing is not creamy, it tosses pretty evenly. Sometimes with a thick dressing like a ranch or a blue cheese, it's harder to toss, but it's usually covers pretty well. Breadstick, get some cake. Normally I would let this cool a little bit before you serve. That'll give you an idea what it looks like here. There you go. We have our shrimp Alfredo, our soft breadsticks, our Italian salad, and our strawberry rhubarb coffee cake. Thank you for joining us today on this edition of Country Cooking, and we'll see you next time.